Hello, welcome to the science class. Today we are going to come across a chapter named Natural Disasters. So, let me first define you what is a natural disaster. Disasters. The calamities which occur naturally are called natural calamities or disasters. We will also know more about calamities. Let me tell you. Calamities are events which may cause damage to human life and property. Our earth is a wonderful place to live on, but sometimes natural disasters or calamities like eruption of volcanoes, earthquakes and tsunamis or tidal waves may occur. Such are such disasters are generally sudden and unexpected, so we have no control over them. What to do during such disasters, we can minimize the losses. So let me explain you. So it is saying that we are not having any control. The disasters or calamities can occur any time. So we should be alert when these disasters or calamities occur. So we will come across some calamities, natural calamities that are volcanoes. It's three types of volcanoes, earthquakes. We will also learn the measurement of an earthquake, effects of earthquake, tidal waves, floods, drought, and some names of agencies that come forward for help when these disasters occur. So, these are some types of disasters that occur. It's volcano, tsunami, and more. So, firstly, we are going to learn about a volcano. A volcanoes are cracks in the earth crust through which this molten rock along with other gases and ash comes out. So, it's saying that a volcano is that through which a whole molten rock comes out and with many gases. So, let us learn more things about volcanoes. You can see the volcanoes have some parts of it. So let me tell you about that. This whole molten rock inside the earth is called magma. You can see that the magma is being you can see that magma is marked by an arrow and it is also labeled. So now, what is lava? When magma flows on the surface of the earth, it is called lava. So lava, when it comes out through the through a vertical tunnel, it's called lava. And what is the vertical tunnel called? It is called vent. And it flows. It flows through a crater. The magma rushes. The magma rushes through a vertical tunnel, but it flows through a crater as lava. So when lava cools, it solidifies and forms rock based on the nature of the eruption. So volcanoes are of three types. What are they? I am telling. Active, dormant and extinct volcanoes. So, so active volcanoes. Let me tell you about active volcanoes. These volcanoes erupt regularly or have erupted in the recent past and may erupt in any time in future. Presently, there are about 500 active volcanoes in the world and majority of them are found around the Pacific Ocean. So, there are around 500 active volcanoes. And in the world, and majority are found around which ocean? That is named as Pacific Ocean. And the Pacific Ocean is also called the Pacific Ring of Fire. So Pacific Ocean is also called as Pacific Ring of Fire. There are two famous active volcanoes, Mount Fuji and Mount Vesuvius. So you can see the images of Mount Fuji and Mount Vesuvius. So let me now tell you about the dormant volcanoes. So what are extinct volcanoes? Extinct volcanoes, these volcanoes have stopped erupting because they have no lava supply. So you know that they are not erupting because of they have no lava supply, and the extinct volcanoes are found in Hawaii and Iceland. Now dormant volcanoes, these volcanoes are not erupting. They are also not erupting, but they will erupt in future. Okay. So now we will come on earthquakes. So what is an earthquake? Let me tell you. Sudden shaking of a part of Earth's surface is called an earthquake. So how it is caused? That also may I tell you. It is caused by shock waves that travel through solid rocks from under the ground to the surface. So did you understand what I'm saying about that? It The sudden shaking of a part on Earth's surface, that is called a earthquake. So how it is caused? It is caused by shock waves that is undersea, that is underground of the surface. So what is an focus? Let me tell you. The point inside the earth when an earthquake starts is called focus. So the point where an earthquake starts, that is called focus. And just above the focus there is present epicenter. Okay, now let me tell you about aftershocks. After the big shaking, smaller shaking or tremors occur. These are called aftershocks. You get to know that after the big earthquakes means some big shaking, then comes a smaller shaking or they occur, and in some cases aftershock continue for several days and it causes damages. So now let me tell you about measurement of an earthquake. So the intensity, direction and duration of an earthquake is detected and recorded by an instrument called seismograph. Can you see the picture of seismograph? Yes, you can see as it is present there. So seismograph is being looked like this. Now there is another thing also, that is Richter scale. It is used to describe the magnitude of earthquakes. Describe means a measure. It is used to measure the magnitude of earthquake. Okay. Now let me tell you the effects of earthquakes. Earthquakes of high intensity always cause huge destruction. Buildings collapse, roads and bridges get damaged, and trees get uprooted. All these happen so suddenly that people do not even get a chance to run out of their homes and save their lives. So the electric wires that fall off due to an earthquake often cause fire. Earthquake causes landslides also. This disrupts the transport and communication system. Undersea earthquakes sometimes cause tsunamis that cause widespread destruction. So let me tell you some days that caused earthquake and what it affected. On January 26, 2001, Bhuji and its neighboring districts in Gujarat suffered heavy loss of life and property caused by a severe earthquake. 20,000 people were killed. Bhuji was the epicenter of that earthquake. So there came an earthquake on January 26, 2020, and its neighboring districts in Gujarat suffered heavy losses of life and property caused by severe earthquake. Now let me tell you about tidal waves. Tidal tsunamis are popularly known as tidal waves, but they have nothing to do with tides. These are called tidal waves because they look like high tides. You can see in the image that they are looking like high tides. Landslides, undersea earthquakes, volcano eruption, etc. cause tidal waves or tsunamis. Large amount of water moves at a great speed in tidal waves. The speed of water may reach up to 100 km per hour. So did you understand that a large amount of water moves in a great speed to the land? And what was the speed the water may reach up to was 100 km per hour. When water reaches the land with such a great speed, it turns into a gigantic waves. It is also called gigantic waves when it goes with a great speed and it turns into giant. These waves cause great destruction of life and property. There is one more thing about that is held in a year. In 2004, tsunami was caused by an earthquake in Indian Ocean. Almost 2 lakh people died in India, Sri Lanka and Indonesia. So now I will tell you some things that are important after the lesson is completed. So let me tell you about flood. So sometimes when it rains very heavily and continuously for several days, the river water comes over the land and rivers overflow. This results in submerging of area. This is called floods. Flood cause huge damage due to waterlogging. Animals living in soil like earthworms, so snakes, rats die. The crops get damaged, causing loss to the farmers. The topsoil get washed away. Many diseases spread, causing damage to human and cattle life. Many diseases also spread through this floods as everything gets submerged and the water comes over the land, the rivers overflow and it gets a very damage. If the flood is there, the crops get damaged and it causes a great loss to the farmers. So let me tell you about drought. So, what is a drought? When there is no rain or very little rain in an area for a very long time. The condition is called drought. Drought results in severe water shortage. Water bodies like ponds and lakes dry. Huge cracks develop in the soil. Crops get damaged and people do not get enough food and water. The major reason behind occurrence of drought is a large scale of cutting down trees and clearing forest for development of towns. This should not be happen that the trees are cut for the development of towns, and it cause a great damage also and a drought, and many for many years the rain or for little rain comes. So now let me tell you about the agencies that come forward to these when these calamities occur. A natural disaster affects the progress of a country. Everyone should help during these calamities, and following steps should be taken. Let me tell you the steps. Do not spread rumors. Cooperate and encourage the people to face the problem bravely. Contribute food, clothes, financial aid to the agency involved to relief work. Yes, not we should cooperate and encourage the people to face this calamities bravely, and we should also contribute to them foods, money, clothes, and financial aids. There are many non-government organizations, NGOs, who come forward for help during natural calamities. Some of these are Red Cross Society, World Health Organization, and United Nations Children's UNICEF. These agencies help affected people, provide medical service, food, and other needful service to help. So let us get a recap. Recap. What is a volcano? A crack in Earth's surface through which molten rock or magma comes out. Earthquake. The shaking of Earth's surface. What is an focus? The point inside the Earth from where the earthquake begins. Epicenter. The area on the Earth's surface just above the focus is called epicenter. Seismograph, an instrument used to measure the intensity, direction, and duration of an earthquake. Richter scale, a scale used to describe the magnitude of earthquakes. Okay, so now we come to the end of the class. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe the video.